One thing that annoys me about this place is how it's always ghastly, ghastly, ghastly. Oh, the odd hunter too. But yeah, that's the inconvenience of having one family of ghosts, and there's also one family of dragons. So when you make a dungeon based on either of them, you're bound to lack some variety. If this were remade today, you'd see stuff like Shuppet, Duskull, Miss Grievous, that kind of thing. So yeah, they really should have thought it through before making a fifth of the Pokédex all water Pokemon and then just do one line of ghost Pokemon. I mean, it's especially bad when you consider the only line of ghosts is poison as well. What makes them poisonous? That makes no sense. So now that's the... Wait a minute, it's level 22? I thought that Marowak was level 30? What's going on here? And yeah, so it speaks and I'm gonna go back. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Oh, that's the Marowak? It's level 30? Oh, and the sort of aura around it is different from that of the other ghosts, so maybe what happened was the exact same thing as in the previous part where I triggered a wild battle and then immediately after that a trainer battle, but wow, I can't even begin to explain how this could be possible, partly because I'm not a programmer, so yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So now I'm gonna leave the tower, and it might take some time depending on how cooperative the ghosts are going to be. I'm not expecting something as bad as in Diglett's cave, and in this place in particular, usually they're kind enough to let me go when I want to. That means I'm gonna meet 1 or 2 per level, not 10 like it would be if this were an underground dungeon or something like that. And while I'm talking about ghosts, 2 things of note. First, in Fire Red and Leaf Green you could actually hear the cry of the ghost. Like, that one, the aura is similar to that of the Marowak I saw earlier, so that one would be a Cubone. I can tell that just by looking at it, but in Fire Red and Leaf Green, you can hear the cries of the ghost, so you can know right off the bat whether you're missing out on a Ghastly, or a Haunter, or a Cubone. Speaking of which, why are the Cubones in this place ghostly? I can understand Ghastly and Haunter, but Cubone? Did Team Rocket kill a shitload of them while hunting that Marowak? That's probably another question that's never gonna be answered. Maybe they were just put there for variety purposes, since Ghastlies would get old if they were all alone in this place, so it peppered in a few Haunters and Cubones, though Cubones are a rather random choice, but whatever. Second is the fact that one funny thing about Gengar is that in the first generation it learned counter via TM. Now that's all nice and all, but when you take into account the fact that in Red, Blue, and Yellow, counter only countered normal and fighting moves, yeah, you connecting the dots there, that means Gengar is never gonna do anything with counter. It's just as good as a splashing Magikarp. And speaking of Magikarp, my next destination is Route 12. Now this place is entirely optional if you pick up the bike, because you can just go through the cycling road instead, but then again, the cycling road can be optional even if you do pick up the bike, because you just have to take one of the paths to Fuchsia. The difference is that here there's a lot of fishermen, but on the cycling road there are only bikers. Now the thing I wanted to say about Magikarp is that, you know how in Platinum it got Bounce, finally giving Gyarados a stabbed flying move that is physical? Well, here's the thing, I was really skeptical of it being anywhere near usable, because after all, it is a 2-turn move, and 2-turn moves inherently suck. But somehow I read the revamp of the Gyarados analysis on Smogon, and they actually suggest a set revolving around Bounce. Now, the thing with Bounce is that unlike with moves like Dig or Dive, this one has a 30% chance of paralysis, so nothing can be totally safe switching into it. Unless, of course, it has Limber and resists it, but does that even exist? Well, I said Limber, you can include Clear Body and White Smoke as well, but yeah, there do exist Pokemon that are immune to the paralysis and resist the move. Those would be Metagross, Regirock, and Registeel. Now, whether they're safe to send into a Gyarados, that's another thing entirely, but that was just saying. Now, I'm just wondering, if Smogon put it on their analysis, is it really viable? Personally, I don't think so. I mean, it's not like Gyarados is dying to get more moves. Just on the offense, it's got Waterfall, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Ice Fang, Avalanche, the list goes on. So Bounce is actually pretty low in my list of priorities. And that's just for offense, because Taunt and Dragon Dance are also very popular moves, and even among non-offensive moves, Rest, Substitute, and Sleep Talk all appear in the data collected, so not even Bounce was there. Bounce, the most it can have, depending on whether it's actually on the limit or not, the most it can have had in October was 3.1%. That's pretty damn low. So it seems most people agree with me, Bounce is simply not worth it. Maybe it would be if it had a more limited move pool, but that is simply not the case. Now, on to another topic I heard about. You know what the latest event Pokemon is? Nope, it's not Darkrai, it's not Mew, it's not anything like that. It's a Pikachu. Wow, maybe it has Surf. Who knows? Well, the answer is a resounding no. You wanna know what its special move is? Present. Present? Present. I'm not kidding. Present? Pikachu? Who's gonna use that? And on top of that, it's not even a new move. You can already get it as an egg move on your Pikachu. So, really, just look at what kind of events we had. Not even 1 year ago, we had Spatial Ren Darkrai. Now that's pretty good, right? Now, since then, we've got things like a level 50 Dragonite with no new moves, except for the fact, of course, that it can partake in official tournaments, but I've already gone on and on and on about how this is not a good idea. So yeah, that Dragonite's worthless. So they tried to top the worthlessness of that thing with a present Pikachu. Yeah, somehow they succeeded in doing worse than that Dragonite. What's gonna be the next event? Wait. I'm picturing it now. Scratching Bidoof! Come get your Scratch Bidoof while it's hot! Though, to be fair, they haven't done everything wrong on the event scene this year. You've got a Darkrai mission that's coming up on Ranger 2, and you've also got a members card giveaway, as I said in the last video, to get your very own Darkrai. The members card is going to be distributed via Wi-Fi, so finally an event Pokemon that's going to be accessible. Of course, it's only for Platinum, but whatever. And of course, the cherry on the sundae is that they gave us a Shaymin, a non-hacked Shaymin, that's important to note, that is capable of transforming into the Sky form. Now that was the flowers, the potties. I'm assuming every Shaymin obtained from an event is going to be able to make the transformation anyway, so that's a moot point. So that's it for the news. I haven't seen the mandatory fisherman with 6 Magikarps yet. Whether I see him in the next part or not depends on which side of the Snorlax he is, but that's neither here nor there. So, see you next time.